Welcome back to the most dramatic Bachelorette review podcast ever with your host, Chris Compton, the popcorn priest, and his wife, Jenny. Welcome. Welcome back.
Hi.
We just watched the first half of episode 4, which the promos were all alluding to this point in the show where she decides to quit The Bachelorette.
Yes.
Does she leave? The promo makes it look like she's going to leave, but it's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't expect it. I knew something was going to go down. I just didn't expect it to be like her just spending the night with Del. Oh, I just want to be with Del today. No rose ceremony.
Yeah, she cancels the rose ceremony. She cancels the cocktail party. Doesn't tell anything. The guys don't know reason.
I feel so bad for them. Like, Del's gone and nobody's telling us anything.
And what has it been? 5-6 days max? And she's already like, it was so awkward when she says she basically is, her whole body language is like, oh, I'm so nervous to tell him. But then do I tell him? I don't know if I should tell him because I don't know if he's like at that point. And then she says, finally, I'm falling in love with you. But then he doesn't say, he says, I'm falling in love with you in this process, like up to this point.
And then she cuts him off.
Yeah, he's about to like tell her what he's feeling and he doesn't even get a chance to say it.
Because she heard that glimpse of what she wanted to hear and then that was it. So I'm a little nervous.
Yeah.
That he doesn't feel the same, especially now that Chris says now you have to have a proposal. I don't think he's ready.
Yeah, he doesn't seem ready, and like he just barely found out the names of her parents. She doesn't know anything about him other than like his grandma was sick on Instagram, and supposedly like Chris asks him or her if she like had been in contact with him before the show, and she supposedly swears on her dad's grave that she hasn't, but
she stalked him on Facebook.
Yeah, there's no way. And
I mean, you can learn a lot about someone by stalking them on Facebook, and I feel like she's further along the process because of that, where he hasn't necessarily done that, and she has, so I don't know, but she still doesn't know anything about him. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I don't know if he's going to propose.
And during the whole dinner, we know where her mind's at, but he doesn't know how far along she is.
It was a little awkward.
Oh man. Let's see. And the intro after the commercial break is so hilarious. After they've basically had a impromptu fantasy suite, and there's the birds. The hummingbirds flying around
and the bee
and the bees and the flowers. They got to stop that stuff. It's so crazy. And I have to say this. I know you're going to get mad at me, but
probably
we're watching this in our basement in our theater. We have a pretty big screen, and the whole time after the morning after, we got Dale sitting there, and his chest is out. It's got like a foot. I'm just staring at this foot-long man nip in my face. And they keep, like, they won't crop it out. It's just right there. It's, come on, Chris Harrison.
Geez.
Can we crop out Dale's nip? And then the dudes in the house are just sitting there like saying, Claire wouldn't, they're like, well, it's been 18 hours. Where's Dale? And then, well, he wouldn't do that.
She wouldn't do that.
Or yeah, she wouldn't do that.
Well, that's the thing.
But
he's going to walk in the house and he is going to, like, what is going to happen? Like, I would not want to walk back in the house if I was Dale. Oh, where you been for 18 hours? Like,
yeah.
No, thank you.
Is he going to do it? And then Chris goes in and basically forces Claire, both of them separately, for a proposal. Like, this is the next step, and you see Dale's face, like his eyes kind of look around, like, oh boy.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
We got to go back. It'll be a second for you, but it'll be an hour for us. We're gonna see what happens with Dale's supposed proposal. Join us in a couple of seconds. And we're back. That was a long hour. It felt. The first hour was so fast, and this one felt a little bit longer. This was the craziest 4 episodes I've ever seen of this show.
For sure.
It starts off with Kenny, boy band manager Kenny, wanting and demanding an apology from Claire, because she comes in, and I'm glad that Chris makes her face the guys. I thought she was just going to like tell Chris, hey, I don't really want to tell anyone, so you go do my dirty works. I'm glad she had to go in and at least say something. And
I am so surprised they were so supportive and like so nice.
Like two or three of the dudes were like, I'm so happy for you. Like, good job.
I mean, that's super nice, but I just didn't expect it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And as soon as she like said the news, there was like crickets. All the dudes' jaws were on the floor.
Again, we don't know the editing, though. That's the thing.
Know. I mean, I can only go off of what the silly show edits.
And maybe some of them were mad and they're just showing the good ones.
Yeah, but they made it sound, or they made it look like there was crickets and jaws on the floor, because no one said a word for like a while.
Yeah.
More time than should have elapsed between someone saying something. And Blake was he was hit the hardest.
Yeah.
And the quote of the night is, I'm not going to apologize for love. What do you think about that?
Good for her. I mean, that's what she came on the show for. Like, either she says goodbye to you now, or she says goodbye to you in the weeks to come.
I agree, but I feel like she can say sorry. Like, she can say, hey, you guys, I mean, all these dudes paused their life, got Q-tips shoved into their cranial areas, and...
Well, right. Like, that one guy made that comment, like, you know, what did he say? He just said, yeah, we went through a lot to be here, and a lot more than any of the other guys do, because...
I think it was Kenny, the breast tat guy.
Kenny.
And I felt like as soon as... It was like 2 sentences, and then she just wanted to get out of the room.
Well, yeah, why do you want to be there? She wants to go be with Dale, which I'm actually surprised they put Dale in another room, because I was like, oh, man, when he goes back to be with the other guys, he's gonna...
What do you feel about Blake? Poor Blake. Like, he said he read a book about dementia and like Alzheimer's because her grandma was going through all these things. Her mom was going through all these things, and he's like,
well, yeah, he wanted to get to know her, which, I mean, yeah, that's what you do. You get to know somebody, but...
That was insane.
But I'm glad he showed up at the end.
And then Chris goes into Dale's room after Claire makes the announcement and basically tells Dale, you've got to, I mean, the next step is a proposal. And before he says that, Dale's like, I'm not relaxed and I'm not stressed. And I love your comment while we were watching was, until you have to propose. That was funny. And then when she's giving her speech at the proposal time.
Oh, wait. Before that, when Chris comes out, that was mean.
Oh, yeah.
Comes out like as if he's not going to show up. That was kind of mean to Claire. And he's like, oh, we're just so proud of you. Well, that could have been said after the fact.
He says, I have something that I need to tell you. And that's what they cut to at the promo. And then they come back and it's just like a huge long pause. And we're really proud of
I know.
all of us
She's
here
like,
are
I'm
really
going to
proud of
cry.
you.
Yeah, that was so mean.
It's so mean. Like her face was like, what kind of news are you going to tell me? That was so mean. Chris, you're better than that.
Oh, and then you were talking about her speech at the proposal.
Oh, yeah. So Dale has no expression on his face when
know.
she's talking about all these nice
Are you happy?
things.
Are you sad? Are you going to run?
It just felt like he was just going to say no. And she was like, I felt like she was forcing the issue. Everything she was saying, like, oh, most men leave me, but you're not going to leave me, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, let him speak. Let him say something. Do you think he really wants this?
I don't know. I don't know if it was just for the show. I can break up with her later. Just on camera, it looks good. I don't know. Because I didn't think he was going to propose. I thought maybe he'd say, yeah, I want to keep getting to know you, but I'm not going to propose. Because even after the end of the shows, people don't propose after multiple weeks.
Yeah, sometimes they say, hey, I want to date you. Let's see where this goes. I'm not saying goodbye, but I'm not going to give you a ring right now. Or sometimes they say, I'm going to give you a ring, but I'm not proposing. Or like, I guess that doesn't make sense. Maybe not. I don't know what I'm saying. Maybe they give him like a ring pop and say they're going to stay around.
But so I was surprised he proposed, but good for them. I hope it works out.
I mean, and then in the promo, Chris basically is grilling them almost in like an After the Final Rose type episode where I think he's asking them, I think he was referring to Claire, did you lie about knowing Dale before the show or talking to him?
At the very end.
I think that's what they're going to get into. I don't know.
Or it could be something stupid like.
I know. The editing, it leads you down these rabbit holes and they're pulling at all of our heartstrings.
Yeah, and I wonder if they should have said it was like I feel like Chris should have maybe said it was Tasia,
yeah.
Just so the guys knew if they wanted to leave and be like, maybe.
Because then that puts her in a bad position where they
may or may not want to be there for her,
and then they find out, and then later want to leave, and then she feels bad about it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I know they need guys for the show, so maybe they wanted to keep the guys. I feel like they should have known. And how awkward is that for her to walk into this room of guys that she's never met? By the way,
that was dumb too. Why didn't they let
I hope you like me. Here I am.
Yeah,
there's the door. Like, what do you do?
They should have had like a limo thing and have them come out in the gerbil balls and all the other weird suits of armor and whatever.
Well, this is
I know
different season, but I thought they should at least tell the guys and then let them have the choice.
Yeah, that was lame. I think a lot of them are excited. Kenny's for sure excited. Easy's for sure excited.
I'm surprised the last guy came in that did the date with with Claire.
Oh yeah.
The guy that they had that really crazy first date that was pretty deep.
Oh yeah, I
can't remember his name though. It was the last guy that walked in.
Oh yeah, the one where they broke like
tiles
and plates of his emotional date. But the look on Easy's face when Chris says your journey's not over is so good. He's my pick for Claire. He was my pick for Claire, and now he's my pick for Tayshia. And I think Chris says Tayshia, and you say Tasia, and I think we're right. So listeners, who's right? How do we say Tayshia's name?
Tayshia.
With that, Tayshia, she's coming next episode.
I know. I'm glad her life, you can just drop everything within like 24 hours and just get tested, I guess, and there you are. I don't know where she lives. At least
24 hours she had to get on a plane, get some dresses, and get going. I don't know how many episodes there's only 16 dudes left.
Mm-hmm.
That's like what 5 more episodes, and
I don't know.
that's sad. I don't know. Do you feel good about her like having this experience? Like I kind of feel bad for her. I mean, I'm excited that she gets to do this, but at the same time,
Yeah, but if Claire can find love in 4 days or however many days it is, why can't she?
I like your optimism, and I think that's a great place to end. If Claire can find love, why can't she? Thanks for joining me, Jenny, on this on this journey. We're at 4 episodes in. Hope you guys like it. If you have any requests or anything you want us to talk about, tweet me at Popcorn Priest, and I respond to all tweets. And see you next time on the most dramatic Bachelorette episode, or the most dramatic Bachelorette review podcast ever.